Dental Fuel, the podcast that focuses on what no one else is talking about: mistakes. The dental world is full of before and afters, and no one is talking about the middle. Dental Fuel brings you the unspoken in between. Welcome back to another episode of Dental Fuel. This episode of Dental Fuel is brought to you by Well Received. Did you know 69% of patients say they would switch providers for a better experience? To level up your practice, you need to ensure your patient experience is better than your competitors. So where do you start? From the very first hello. Well Received is a 24/7 answering service for dental practices. Their team of professional receptionists are on hand 24/7 to support your callers. That's day and night, 365 days a year. Set your practice apart by guaranteeing your patients' calls are answered quickly and by a real person every single time. Ready to level up your patient experience? As a Dental Fuel listener, you can enjoy an exclusive 50% off your first 3 months of service. Head to wellreceived.com/ignitedds to get started. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis is in the building. We're back with another episode with the man himself, Dr. Adamo. Dr. Adamo joins us for this episode and shares with us a financial mistake he has made and the value of a digital camera in dentistry. Let's check it out. Adamo, financial mistake. Any financial mistakes that you have made in your career?
You know, this is the first time I ever got asked this question, and I was like, "Wow, that's interesting." And I'm looking back, I'm like, "Did I make any investments? Did I make any bet?" No, and those answers are no. I think I'm pretty sharp. I'll tell you the one that dawned on me is, I think if I could go back, there's probably 70% of purchases I've made that I would never buy again. For example, I own every ounce of photography equipment you can possibly think of. If you came in my office, I could open a store. I use about 20% of it. You know, over the years and my ex-partner was infamous for this. He'd buy a new piece of technology and it would collect dust. So we all want these wonderful new toys, but you need to take a step back and practically say, am I going to use this every day? I have 7 digital cameras. I use them every day. They're all set up for individual things and they get used. But I also have these crazy lights and this adapter and this bracket arm, and I don't even touch that stuff. So thousands of dollars worth of stuff wasted. Even, certain things in the office, let's say, oh, I want a CAD/CAM machine, but then you're never going to mill, or you're only going to do one a month. Like, what's the point? At that point, your return on investment is terrible. So I think, especially with all this new technology and printing and all this crazy stuff, you really need to take a step back and say, okay, am I going to use this a lot? And am I going to make money off of it? Even if you break even, but use it a lot, that's fine. That makes sense to me. But if you don't use it, or it's not going to make you money, do you really need it? And I think my big financial mistakes throughout my years were just dumb purchases. I would just put it simple. I didn't need it. I wanted it because it was cool and it's in a drawer somewhere. And I open it when I clean my office and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot I had this thing. And I never use it again. So I think for me, that's probably my biggest regret if I look back on that.
Man, dentistry has many shiny toys and they're so darn expensive. My goodness. I want to flip it on you. What's been your best purchase?
Oh, digital camera. There's, without question, no hesitation. You cannot practice, and I'm not even going to say aesthetic dentistry. I'm going to say general dentistry without a digital camera done at a high level is not possible, without question.
Do you take photos of all your cases?
Everything.
How do you incorporate that time into your workflow to, take a step back, take the photo?
Well, that goes back to what we talked about, practice and getting speed. When I learned how to take pictures, when I first started accreditation, it would take me 40 minutes to do the 12 accreditation photos because I didn't understand how to frame them in the lighting. I could do 12 accreditation photos in under 2 minutes. So If someone's going to tell me that the valuable information I'm going to get from 12 intraoral photos or 11 intraoral photos and a headshot to diagnose, to treatment plan, to show the patient, they are instantly up on a screen. If you tell me that 2 minutes isn't worth it, you're crazy. So I can make more money from a digital photo And I hate to compare it to that, but the end result is what I said before is it a good return on investment? Of course it is. I document my cases with them before and afters. What do I get from that? New patients for Cosmetic. So my camera sells itself in 1 second. Showing patients treatment that they don't believe that they need because nothing hurts. I had a lady yesterday tell me she just had a full mouth rehab done 2 years ago. It was a really nice job by whoever did it. She has recurrent decay on everything. She told me that she brushes and flosses all day. I took intraoral photos, and the amount of food that she now hasn't got washed since breakfast or brushed since breakfast was mind-boggling. So I'm like, well, this is kind of why you're getting decay. So she was adamant that I was lying. And if I didn't show her pictures, she wouldn't believe me. So it's the most valuable tool for marketing, for self-assessment, for patient education, for lab communication. How are you going to communicate high-end aesthetics to a lab if you don't have a camera or don't know how to take it right? So I would recommend the first thing that any student buys coming out of school is a digital camera and learn how to use it well.
What kind of camera are you rocking?
So I have 7.
You did say that. What camera do you use when you're taking initial photos during an exam?
So I have a Canon Mark IV 5D with
nice.
Canon macro lens, and I have a regular Canon twin flash on it. No frills. That's my go-to monster all day. Keeping it simple. I like it. Yeah.
When do you? I know many people when they bring in their patients. You do everything in one appointment? Your entire new patient exam in one appointment, or do you like to break it up?
So that depends. If my hygienist sees the patient for a new patient and hygiene exam, then they'll do iTero scans. They don't do my intraoral photos. I only take those if I need them, right? So, but if I'm getting a consult, which I get a lot of just to come and see me, they have their own general dentist, they want aesthetic work, then I will do everything at that initial appointment. Photos, records, scans, cone beam, whatever, and then I give them a treatment plan at that appointment, and then we move forward from there.
Very cool. How long would you say an appointment like that would take you?
I book an hour, and I'm usually done early. It's pretty fast.
Nice. Are you ready to level up your patient experience? Be sure to visit wellreceived.com/IgniteDDS to find out how you can master patient communication and offer exceptional service 24/7, 365 days a year, while getting valuable time back to focus on growing your practice. We hope you're enjoying our conversation with Dr. Adamo. We'll be back next week with another episode where he shares his knowledge and wisdom on team mistakes that he has made. Catch you next time.